But why does every sustainable product seem to cost way more?
And it's because most of us, or for most of us, it's not like we want to be unsustainable, right? Like, spare the straw, I'll be sustainable that way. But part of the answer is, of course, economics. It always comes down to economics. And sustainability requires finding better solutions. Sure. But those solutions can't make a notable impact if they aren't being produced and implemented at scale. And what we're talking about is really, you can't do things in a small little box. You have to do things large for it to make a large impact and be relatively cost savvy, or at least not hitting your pocketbook so hard. Many sustainable ingredients are simply newer and aren't being produced at scale that needs to be implemented to be able to use them across the industry. We're talking like insect protein. It's really a great example, right? So here's a snippet from Liz Kutzos, president of Black Soldier Fly Larvae ingredient producer EnviroFlight.
We're 10 years into this, maybe. We've been in operation and commercial scale for like 6. And I think our colleagues in the industry that are doing well and growing are right around that 6 or 7 years in commercial scale. That's nothing. We're still in our infancy, and that comes with higher costs.
So limited scale also impacts availability, right? When something's less available, that's usually justification to make it more expensive. According to Pierre-Luc Gingras, president and owner of a few pet food and care brands, including an insect-based pet food, Wilder Harrier, he says black soldier fly larva ingredients, while not necessarily cheap, are significantly less expensive than other insect protein ingredients like crickets.
So crickets, for example, will be $25,000 a ton, which black shoulder fly will be $6,000 a ton. So it's almost 5 times cheaper. And the reason why it's cheaper is it's easier to do a mass production of those black shoulder fly, and it's faster as well.
So you have scale, you have availability, then you have demand. And demand for more sustainable pet food is kind of tricky, right? First and foremost, we're all looking for a safe product that will support our pets' health and well-being. From there, the door to sustainability claims open, but when we're contending with price and just considering our general distrust of sustainability claims, this is where the bottom really falls out. We've seen this for upcycled ingredients. And we also heard it for invasive species like green crab and Asian carp, as illustrated by Deb Suchman, co-founder and co-owner of Polka Dog.
Just because it's sustainable doesn't mean people are going to spend more money on it. And it's just more about how do you fit that into their lifestyle. And part of that is talking about, is it sustainable, but it also has health benefits. And people may want to lead a sustainable lifestyle, but they might not want to pay extra for it. So it's a lot to fit in. So I think it's not just enough to be trying to be a good sustainable company. You have to really be mindful of cost, and you have to be talking about how that affects the health benefits for their dog.
So what we consistently find that even pet owners who claim on surveys to spend X amount more for sustainable pet foods still experience sticker shock in the checkout line, right? Guilty. This also fluctuates depending on where you are in the world. When asked whether they pay more for pet food made with local ingredients, 95% of French pet owners said yes, but only 69% of UK owners said the same. And for our eco-friendly packaging, 66% of Belgian pet owners said that they would pay more for it compared to 76% of pet owners right here in the US. So the willingness is there, absolutely, but it's not universal. And that even erodes faster when you get to the register.
Yeah, no, it's such a good point, because I think right now most pet food companies are passing on these costs, more sustainable ingredients and more sustainable practices, maybe in the plant or in distribution. They're passing those extra costs down to consumers. We're starting to see a shift from individual accountability, right, make sure you recycle and you can save the earth, to corporate responsibility, which is, I mean, long been debated when it comes to the way that we should tackle all of this.
Is it up to companies to be like, I have a responsibility to only put on shelves something that is not coming at the cost of the environment? And this is a perennial debate in the sustainability world of like, does individual action or does corporate action mean more? And I swing back and forth in my beliefs, but for this conversation, I would like to swing over to the company responsibility side, because I don't think it's fair to like ask customers to be like, you have to pay more. Like, I think it is a business can just have so much more impact. They can have impact at scale. They can figure out how to build out these supply chains so that there's lower costs in the future. I want to say we have a lot of work to do, because from my perspective, a lot of the pet food brands that are leading in sustainability do come at some amount of cost premium. And this is just like a huge problem to solve. But that being said, I don't think that that is always a black and white area, because again, bringing up byproducts, like byproducts could have less environmental impact. They also could be less expensive. So there are like some sneaky things that make a product sustainable and also might make it less expensive.
So, what exactly are we supposed to do with this information? First, hang on. Feel better, right? Deep breaths. Everything's going to be good. Feel better. Give yourself some grace in all things in life, everything. At the beginning of the episode, we were talking about guilt, even mom guilt. Give yourself grace for everything. You don't need to decode every label. We really don't. We barely do. Or buy the most expensive option to be sustainable. You don't have to get those fancy paper straws. It exists on a spectrum, like most things in life. And there are ways to match your lifestyle to the types of eco-friendly, sustainable initiatives you want to support. And then second, it's about progress. We're all in this journey of sustainability throughout life. And so it's about progress, not perfection. We've said it before, it's not about perfection. So sustainability, again, it's about trade-offs, 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 trade-offs. And one brand's version of sustainability may look really, really different than the next. And that's okay, right? Spectrum, we're all on the sustainability journey. It just means that they have different problems to solve in order to be their most sustainable.
PSC has plenty of members that are selling human grade products. And I also feel like there's nothing wrong with that. I think like they just have a different set of sustainability strategies to tackle. So like for them, like maybe regenerative beef or regenerative products is a key focus area, because if you're going to take that really prime cut of meat, then like how can you use that process to then create some good in the world? So again, like there's no right answer. It's like you can have a game of trade-offs in that space as well.
What does meaningful progress actually look like for you and I, for pet parents listening today? I think it starts with asking better questions, right? Instead of going into a store, going online and asking whether a product is sustainable, right? We know that's not enough. We want to know what specifically makes it sustainable. What goals has the company set in terms of sustainability? How are they measuring success? And are they being transparent about the way that they're getting there? Right? We've said this before, companies that are genuinely committed to what they're doing are going to be proud, loud and proud to discuss these things with you. So just ask the question. Ask the brand directly, ask the retailer that you're shopping at. And if you can't get a good answer, the answer probably doesn't exist. And that should be your answer.
Is your answer.